Oh my gosh. This looks good. What is going on, guys? Zach here, and I am back to bring you the pizza of Madison. You voted, we're bringing it on. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to be undertaking quite an endeavor. When I saw all of your recommendations, I locked down 7 different locations. Some of these spots are classic pizza places. Others just happen to have pizza on the menu. But every order I made was for a classic American pepperoni pizza. Wait a second. I'm pretty sure pizza's from Italy. Redo! The classic Italian pepperoni pizza. Italy, baby. It's a big meatball. Here's how tonight's event will go. I am going to take 2 bites of each slice. 1 bite of standard pizza, and the second bite, the crust. And for bonus points, I will be trying the breadstick that each location recommended. And to keep all the quality the same, I will be eating the pizzas in the same order in which they came out of the oven and they were picked up. We got our hands full tonight, folks. And our stomachs. Get in my belly. So without further ado, let's dive on in. First up to the plate, Jendy's Pizza. Now I know that Jendy's is technically a Hanover location, but it was recommended so many times, I had to put it on the list. First impression, it's a pizza. All right, grabbing a slice here, and as they always say, when you grab a piece, get the one that points east. There is a decent coverage of cheese. Some pepperonis are kind of sneaking their way out of the top, but there's no true definition of where the crust ends and the mainland of the pizza begins. The crust doesn't really have its own space. Kind of like a grown child that won't move out of their parents' basement. It's got some backbone. You can tell it's not just flopping out of my hand like a hot slice of New York style pizza, and I'm okay with that. When we flip it over, we see a little bit of baking dirt, and that's always a good thing. Let's take our first bite. That is a good bite of pizza. There is a good dough to sauce to cheese to pepperoni ratio in my opinion, but I've always been one that prefers a bit more cheese than sauce. It's a good crust. It seems to be a bit of an afterthought to the pizza itself. It's not bad, it just doesn't stand out. Now let's try the breadsticks. Let's have a bit of marinara. For the most part, it's a bit plain. The pizza was good, nothing that took my breath away, but I could see it being one of those hometown pizzas that you grow up with, and you always need some more of. I'm gonna give Jendy's a 7.5. Moving on! Next up to the plate, the Downtowner. The Downtowner is right on Main Street, but I would have never known that they had pizza. First impression, here we go. Oh, that's the breadsticks. First impression, here we go. What up, Chef Boyardee? That's a cute little booger. Gracious, I just want to give it a hug. It does not want to come apart. True friends stick together. Whew. That sucker's quite stout for the size of the circumference. It's decently greasy and no baking dirt on the underbelly, but it looks like it's gonna be a really nice bite. Look at that, how thick that cheese is, and there's layers of, ooh. Man overboard. Digging for buried treasure here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 4 layers of pepperoni. Let's take a bite. It's okay. Bite of the crust. The crust is a little chewy. Let's move on over to the breadsticks. There's a little bit of something on this breadstick. Take a little dip, take a little drip. No drip. It's a very soft breadstick, but the speckled flavoring on top is a bit deceiving. It's a bit bland. I have eaten some very good things at the Downtowner. I'm a fan of the establishment as a whole. However, the pizza is not necessarily something I would highlight. I'm going to give the Downtowner's pizza a 5. Moving on! Next up to the plate, Gather. First impression. This looks a little bit different than I was expecting. I got 2 different sauces here. This is marinara, and this is marinara. Okay, so I got 2 marinaras. Now I'm grabbing a slice that looks like it's got a little bit of overcooked cheese on the end, but I love a good crunch of overcooked cheese. Now I will note, at the Gather, they put their pepperoni on top of their cheese, where the first 2 spots we ate from put their pepperoni under the cheese. Which way is right? Is there a right way? Who knows? No, I know. It needs to be on top. You put pepperoni on top of the cheese. I don't see any baking dirt on the undercarriage, and it is a thinner pizza. First bite, here we go. I don't know the best way to describe it. The pizza holds its own in my mouth. For those of you who prefer a heavy amount of sauce on your pizza, that's not what they do here. That must be why there are 2 extra marinaras on the side. Let's take a bite of the crust, of which there is no defined property line. That was a very crunchy, but very good bite of crust. Woo! This is a treat in itself. Look at all that stuff on there. I don't know which end. People of America, these breadsticks are rocking. These are definitely garlicky, but I will say they are delicious. And their marinara sauce really complements the breadsticks well. The pizza was good, but the garlic Asiago breadsticks are really good. However, those are only bonus points. I am going to give the Gather a 6. Moving Moving on. At this point, maybe you guys are starting to crave some pizza yourself. I am happy to tell you that each of these establishments have agreed to give you guys, the Everyday Shelton viewers, a discount if you mention that you saw the review by Everyday Shelton. Yes, hello, I'd like to order a pizza. My friend Zach told me to tell you hello. Oh, I get a discount? That's just for you, honey bunches of oats. Now do us a favor and subscribe. Next up to the plate, Bops. Now, for those of you that don't know, Bops is fairly new, and it stands for Brittany's Brick Oven Pizza. Bops is very easy to pass because if we're being honest, Bops establishment kind of looks like your grandma's house. Now let's see what kind of pizza grandma makes. Boom! Oh, it's so cute. It's like little baby Yoda. Look how tiny and cute those little baby pepperonis are. They're just hanging out at preschool, watching Sesame Street. This is the sound. La, 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 la. Like Zoink Scoop, it's a good looking pizza. Really, Shaggy? It looks delicious.
What are you doing?
Don't tell mommy. Let's hop into this pizza now. Marinara, garlic butter. This pizza looks pretty good, and I can definitely tell where the crust is and isn't supposed to be. It looks like there is cheese under and on top of the pepperoni. A little bit of baking dirt on the bottom. That is a good pizza. Let's try a bite of the crust. The crust is also enjoyable. Time to hop into the breadsticks with the sauces. Garlic butter. Maybe it's not garlic butter. It kind of reminds me of that pesto oil at fancy restaurants. It tastes good. Marinara. That's a very fresh, tomato-heavy marinara sauce. It's quite enjoyable. Bops pizza was pretty good. There was a good ratio of cheese to sauce to dough to pepperoni. There was a good bite to the crust. The breadsticks alone didn't stand out, but the oil and the marinara were delicious. Easily the best marinara I've had thus far. The brick oven aspect of the pizza really brought that baking dirt out, which made me feel like I was getting a quality pizza. I am going to give Brittany's Brick Oven Pizza, or Bops, an 8.5. There's some pretty good pizza down there at Grandma's house. Next up to the plate, Boneyard Grill. Time for our first impression. What? What is happening here? Who done stole the rest of my pizza? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Why is there such a big box for such a little pizza? Do you see this? It's what I looked like before I got married. Look at me, I'm sprawled out. I got the whole bed to myself. Then I put a ring on it.
Scoot over, babe. I need some place to sleep too. I don't care if you're 6'3" and you need a place to stretch out your joints.
Boneyard's got them pizza boxes that say one size fits all, I guess. Because I'm ordering 7 pizzas tonight, every place I ordered from, I asked for the smallest thing they had. And when they told me that they had half flatbread, this is not what I was expecting. But hey, it could be delicious. It looks like there is some serious crunch around the outskirts. When you flip it over to the cool side of the pillow, kind of looks like a quesadilla. That's a good bite of pizza. If you're a fan of thin pizza, this is the way to go. Let's take a bite of the crust. That's got a nice crunch to it. If you're looking for a flatbread pizza, I would definitely recommend this. And Boneyard told me they've got a lot of other options if you don't want to just go pepperoni. The breadsticks at Boneyard look a lot like the breadsticks at the Downtowner. Marinara? That is a ketchup-y type marinara. Not a bad breadstick. If you like super thin pizza, I definitely recommend Boneyard. The pepperoni flatbread didn't blow my mind, but I would be highly interested to try all the other varieties of flatbread that they offer. I am going to give Boneyard's pepperoni pizza a 6. Moving on. Next up to the plate, Red Pepperoni. First impression, here we go. Very round. Whoever cut this pizza wasn't their first rodeo. Let's grab a nice slice. A moderately thin slice. There's no baking dirt on the bottom. The pepperoni pizza at Red Pepperoni is a bit thinner than their other pizzas, but it's still good. Let's try a bite of the crust. You can tell where there's some division trying to be made between the crust and the pizza itself. Let's move on to the breadsticks. Open them up. Oh, it's like a little dumbbell. 2, 3, bloop. Well, it's a plain breadstick. Red Pepperoni is probably the pizza place we have frequented the most since we've moved here. However, this is the first time I've ever gotten a pepperoni pizza. I am going to give Red Pepperoni a 7.5. Moving on. Last up to the plate is another Main Street staple, Bello's Pizza. First impression. Woo! The Dairy Fairy is alive and well. She done granted my wish. Look at all that cheese. If you lactose intolerant, this ain't gonna kill you. All right, all you cool cats and kittens. There is absolutely no crust to speak of, but it's covered in cheese, so I don't even care. The flip side looks like a fossil. I am gonna need a get out of jail free card after this pizza. I'm gonna be locked up from all that cheese. Here's a bite of the crust. Bello's Pizza is a heavy-duty pizza. There is a lot of cheese, which I love, but the dough is not my favorite in town. For this case, I am gonna give Bello's a 6. And that's that. As far as pepperoni pizzas go, I'm gonna call this case closed. Remember, these are just my opinions, but the next round of pizza I do will be a specialty pizza from each location. So tell me, what do you think? What did I miss? And what kind of specialty pizza should I get at each of these places? Don't forget to subscribe and drop your comments down below. And remember, eat local. These pizza shops are working hard and they need the dough. They need the dough. See you next time. Adios, mamma mia. Gracious alive, it's a lot.
I can't